AITA for embarrassing my sister, Bill, and his friend after I was set up on a surprise blind date. I, 25F, have never been interested in romantic relationships. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'm very busy with grad school and work, and I like being on my own. I have friends and a dog, and that's honestly enough. I'm happy with my life. My family thinks this is weird beyond belief, and the pressure has ramped up now that even my younger brother has gotten married and I'm the only one left on the shelf. My older sister's husband has been offering to set me up for years because I'm too hot to stay single, whatever that means. I've always tried to refuse politely, but it's wearing thin. I was home visiting my parents this weekend and my sister invited me out to dinner at a new restaurant. It was an upscale place, so she said to wear something nice. I thought it was just going to be the three of us. But there was another guy in the car when they picked me up. He said he was BIL's friend Joe. Awkward, but not too unusual. We get to the restaurant and sit down, and Joe keeps trying to make conversation with me with Bill and my sister egging it on, and I finally joke, "Am I on a date or something? What's with all the questions?" And my sister straight up says, "Yes. We thought you just needed a little push. So we decided to set you two up." I asked Joe if he knew about this, and he admitted that Bill told him he wanted to set him up on a blind date, but that he was glad he came. So I was the only one that didn't know it was a date. I was pretty mad, but didn't want to cause a scene in the restaurant. So I finished dinner and gave really short responses to questions. "So you're in a PhD program?" "Yes." "What's that like?" "Busy." And the evening just stayed really uncomfortable and awkward. Joe apologized in the car, and I told him it wasn't his fault, but he probably shouldn't let Bill set him up again, and I wasn't interested in dating anyone. Apparently he told Bill off in the car about making him look bad so that he didn't even have a chance. My sister is mad because I was rude and embarrassed them when they were just trying to help me out of my shell. My parents think I should have appreciated the gesture and given Joe a chance because you never know, and want me to apologize. In Ta, they knew your boundaries. They broke them. Knowing them at that, I can assume had you been a bit more polite and engaging with him, they would use that as reasoning to set you up more. Your sister and Bill are upset because they looked bad to Joe because they clearly misled him some as well, and didn't want to own up to that. NTA. This may be a shocker to your relatives, but dating is supposed to be a consensual activity. NTA. The rude people in this situation are your sister and Bill. Surprise blind date isn't a thing, it's an ambush. NTA. What is with people thinking single women need to be in a relationship? I had a coworker's husband say that I need a husband. Why? I'm quite happy with life. I've dated and all have ended badly. Not interested. I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to do this thing. Does the thing anyway. What? You're angry that I completely blindsided you and did the exact thing you said you didn't want to do? How terrible of you. NTA. NTA. They look bad because they are bad. They look exactly how they are. Their fault, and they deserve to be yelled at by the both of you. They need to respect your choice. Being aromantic is valid. You may need or want to learn how to set stronger boundaries. But that's your choice. Definitely NTA. However, a good time to speak up would have been in the restaurant when your sister said that they thought you just needed a little push. You should have let Joe know that you had previously made it clear to your sister and Bill that you were not interested in dating at the moment, and that they should have never set the two of you up for this awkward dinner. Considering you had made it clear that you were not interested, Your sister is mad because she and her husband embarrassed themselves by ignoring what you want. She should be mad at herself and her husband. Your parents should be staying out of this. To be honest, I was rude and embarrassed them. NTA, she has it wrong. She was rude and she embarrassed herself. Just because she is family doesn't mean she entitled to conduct your love life on your behalf. Wow. You are NTA. Joe is also NTA. They deceived him too. Your sister and her husband are tahir. Especially the husband. Who the hell makes comments like that to his wife's sister? Sis and Bill don't respect you. Don't acknowledge you as an independent adult. We thought you just needed a little push. So we decided to set you two up, as if you're incapable of deciding for yourself when or whether you want to date anyone. Time to go low or maybe no contact with them for a while. If they ask why, ask them if they're ready to treat you like an independent, autonomous adult capable of making your own decisions without their unwanted and uninvited help. NTA. This isn't acceptable. You handled it better than many people would have done. Regardless of what anyone else says or thinks. I have friends and a dog. Makes for a way better life than most people can dream of. Enjoy it. Inta, you have spoken about this many times. They ignored you. That's when good intentions stop and become boundary stompers. Let them know you will not apologize because they should apologize for putting you in a position where you 1. Were uninformed about what was really happening and 2. Expressly said you didn't want to be in. If your parents can't get over it being, for the possibility of a relationship, liken it to a surprise party after you've expressly told people not to do that. NTA, but your relatives are for not respecting you. NTA. I assume you're not the protagonist in a bad rom-com? They don't need to meet cute you or whatever the hell this is. Honestly, if they wanted to set you up they should have just invited you to do normal things. And if you liked him enough you would have made a move. If you do happen to be the protagonist in a bad rom-com then I will change my vote. Since this sort of thing is to be expected. NTA. It always makes me angry reading these kinds of posts where people blatantly disrespect the boundaries of other family members. Your family are being pushy, creepy, and acting entirely inappropriately. You are not only in the right to be upset and give them a piece of your mind, but the fact that you even manage to maintain composure at all is an incredible amount of will. I would have just walked. You are 100% in the right. And you need to set some strong boundaries with them. Because this is frankly gross and beyond unacceptable. My older sister's husband has been offering to set me up for years because I'm too hot to stay single. I would decline to be alone with that man. NTA. You're 25 and in a PhD program. Everyone I knew in PhD's programs were already married or very single. People really need to listen when you say you're not interested. This was very rude to you. NTA. You and Joe are basically the victims in this situation. NTA. If I tell you I hate liver and you mix liver into my hamburger, you don't get to act surprised if I throw up on you. You're right to be very upset that they violated your trust, lied to you, manipulated you, disregarded your feelings and then got upset that you acted consistently with how you've been telling them you would act. Joe is right to be upset that they mislead him about the situation he was going into and your level of interest. They set him up for failure and embarrassed him. Your sister and her husband should be embarrassed that they are so bad at reading people that they created that terribly, yet predictably, awkward situation, and they should be ashamed that they're manipulating their friend into an unwinnable situation and you into an upsetting and undesirable position. Your sister's husband is also potentially a bit creepy for calling you too attractive to be single. And then trying to choose your mate. They should be apologizing big time, because this should really be the last wake-up call they need. To realize that they are hurting you, not helping you. NTA. You made it clear that you didn't want to date anyone, and your sister and Bill purposefully ignored it. If Joe chewed them out, then they deserved it. They need to learn to respect the boundaries you set. When you're ready to date, you'll date. If you choose to never date, you won't. Either way, it's none of their business. NTA. I feel bad for you and Joe. For you especially. When you're on a blind date, you still know you're on a date. They tried to force it on you. And by telling Joe, they set unreasonable expectations for him as well. This was a Lacellos. I hope Joe really let Bill have it be. NTA. Your Bill and sister are the assholes. It sounds like Joe was equally embarrassed.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.